In this video, we will learn how to solve algebraic expressions and rewrite formulas by isolating a variable. Your teacher puts this equation on the board for the class. 5x equals 15. So many people in the class raise their hand to answer the question, but no one can explain how they got the answer. The teacher turns to look at you and asks, how would you solve this equation? Well, to find x, we have to keep x alone on one side of the equal sign, so the equation reads x equals. In this case, to get x alone, we have to do the opposite or inverse operation that is being done on one side to both sides. This undoes the original operation while also keeping x the same value. What is the inverse operation of multiplication? Division is the inverse operation. In the same way, addition is the opposite of subtraction and vice versa. 5x means 5 times x. In this equation, what do we have to do on both sides for x to be alone? Exactly. We need to divide 5 on both sides to isolate x and keep the value of x the same. 5x divided by 5 is 1x. Any number times 1 is itself, so 1 times x is just x. On the right side of the equation, 15 divided by 5 is 3, so x equals 3. Find the value of x in x squared equals 4. When dealing with an exponent, the inverse operation is to find the nth root of the number. For example, if we have x squared, we would want to find the square root to undo the operation. X cubed would be cube root. Here, since x is being squared, we want to find the square root of both sides. A square root can also be written as a number written to the 1/2 power. So the square root of x to the power of 2 equals to x to the power of 2 times 1/2, which equals to x to the power of 1. X multiplied by itself one time is just x. On the other hand, the square root of 4 is 2 because 2 multiplied by itself 2 times is 4. Fiona wants to find the length of this rectangle to know how long she needs to make her fence. The perimeter equation of the rectangle is P equals 2L plus 2W, with L being the length and W as the width. Let's first rearrange this formula to solve for the length of the rectangle. What is the first step to isolating the variable L? Yes, we want to subtract both sides by 2W. When we subtract both sides by 2W, we have P minus 2W equals 2L. What does L equal to? We want to do the inverse operation of multiplication since L is being multiplied by 2. So we will divide the left and right side of the equation by 2. 2L divided by 2 equals to 1L, which is just L. On the left side, we could just leave it as is, or we could also divide each term by 2. We can't simplify P divided by 2 any further, but we can simplify 2W divided by 2 to just W. Our equation now looks like L equals P divided by 2 minus W. After installing her fence in the yard, Fiona wants to find the volume of the balloon she bought for Tom's birthday party, so she knows it's the biggest and best one for him. She knows the ideal gas law equation is PV equals nRT. She knows the pressure in the balloon, the number of moles of gas, the R constant, and the temperature. Fiona wants to just substitute all the numbers she knows to get one answer. To do this, she decides to rewrite the equation so volume is the only variable on one side before involving any numbers. How does she rewrite this equation? Yes, it's important to keep in mind that all variables that are next to each other are being multiplied. So she uses the inverse operation, division. She divides both sides of the equation by pressure to get V equals nRT divided by P. Easy! It's important to keep in mind that variables are just placeholders for numbers. So any operations we can do on numbers are the same for any variables.